Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the Terra Luna, holders. Shout out to you guys, for showing so much love on these updates. Let's take a look at what's happening with the price as we are starting off a new week. So speaking about starting off a new week, in my opinion, it is a very important week. Of course, I've discussed that with you guys in the recent updates. If you're looking across the board, today we did see a nice bounce overall for the broader market, as you could see for yourself. But again, LUNC coin is obviously not in the top 100. We're going to have to go into the top 200 and you'll see it there. It's up about 10%, as you could see for yourself. The price currently sitting at 56.33, up about 10%, as mentioned in USD. Also up 10% on the Bitcoin side of things. And that is very nice to see, especially on the Bitcoin side of things. As far as the zeros are concerned, still about four zeros in front of the price. And, the valuation at 306 million and the 24-hour trading volume at about 200 million dollars. But as always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So take a look at what's happening with the Bitcoin dominance. Very, very, very important to keep this in mind. And again, I've obviously highlighted on the last updates, the importance of the 59.14% support for the Bitcoin dominance. Several different retests at that range, and we actually went below it. You could see for yourself. But look what happened. It did not last too long. It picked back up to 59.25%, but most importantly, above the 59.14% for the dominance. So again, time in, time out, it's showing you the importance of that key range. You want to see the dominance drop below this key support and start heading back down to some of these key levels. So that's that. Of course, Bitcoin, as far as that is concerned, Bitcoin is still below the 0.50 fib zone. Speaking about the 0.50 fib zone, Bitcoin was actually able to retest the 0.50 key resistance. You could see for yourself at $92,300 just a few hours ago. But again, we got rejected. So time in, time out, we've talked about these levels. And at this point, you could see once again that, this is a very important level to be watching for. We literally retested. You can make this up exactly, literally exactly on dot, and saw a rejection, pulled back down to 89,585. But Bitcoin has picked up above 91.3, and right now still sitting above $90,000. And as far as the daily candle close is concerned, it was once again above the 90k key range. So talk about volatility. That's exactly what we're seeing here. And I think this is going to pretty much play out till the FOMC meeting is done. So again, I don't think dominance is going to make up its mind until the FOMC meeting is done. But Bitcoin is seeing volatility, and this is something we can kind of see. But one thing we want to kind of keep in mind is from where we were yesterday, obviously the dominance has seen downward trajectory since then, and that is a leading indicator and the leading reason why we're seeing so much positive momentum across the board right now, where you're seeing a lot of coins up, some even up double digits. But as far as Terra Luna Classic price is concerned here, currently sitting at 56, 55 zone. But we're going to take a closer look and, really see what's going on. As of now, you could see, we do have some resistance coming in the way. If I were to zoom out, you can clearly see for yourself as, where the price is currently having a little bit of a hard time breaking out of. But let's take a closer look and see what's going on the hourly time frame. So, LUNC coin, of course, came down to 47.78 zone. Again, something we've discussed on the channel. As far as targets are concerned, so far it pretty much came down to the levels we've been talking about. But literally look at the bounce, 30% bounce. It saw a 30% bounce, with Bitcoin just seeing, I'm sorry, with the dominance just seeing this pullback, and Bitcoin also, retesting the 0.50 fib zone key resistance. Just based off of that, you saw LUNC coin going up 30%. So, it's not rocket science. The reason why I say it's not rocket science is because if you look at the market cap, this is a very low market cap coin. You just cannot forget that. So, of course, higher risk with these coins, but of course higher reward. But that's where your due diligence comes into play. You're going to see bigger swings on this. And of course, we came up to the 6112 zone. Again, if you want to put this into perspective, let's take a look at it on a daily time frame. Again, this is a resistance as well. This is a resistance as well for LUNC coin. But as of now, if you were to ask me, what are some next targets to be looking forward to, it would be around the give or take 66, 16 zone. If this is able to break out, I personally think, LUNC coin could actually reach a new monthly high. That's not an unrealistic thing to be looking forward to, because you could see after this resistance, the 7121 zone, in my opinion, would be the next resistance that we could see. And that itself is still a move of about 27.3%. But the reason, why I think it could happen much quicker is because the market cap is only 306 million. But with that said, you always got to look at it from a different perspective as well. You could see a complete opposite playing out, even in a bull trend. Keep this in mind. Very, very important. So if the overall market goes up, as of now, LUNC has reacted to that, but of course it has saw a major retracement as well. But even in a bullish trend, smaller coins can see complete opposite playing out. Meaning, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to see upwards trend playing out. If a whale decides to lock some profits in, that could cause the price to go down. Doesn't really matter about the overall market momentum. So again, kind of ties back to the risk factor that I just told you guys about. But as of now, you can see, we do have some resistance coming in the way. If this resistance is able to break out, I am targeting around the 6430 to 6500 zone for LUNC coin. And pretty much after that, it is only about a 29% move for it to reach a new monthly high. So again, we got to take it one step at a time. Again, if you kind of zoom out, take a look at it on a daily time frame, you do see how important this resistance really is. But let me know in the comments what you guys are doing right now. What is your overall, forecast on Terra Luna? And how are you playing this? Are you holding it for long term? Are you just swing trading? And again, I just want to emphasize, when I talk about swing trading, I'm talking about spot swing trading. But again, you need to understand what that really is, because again, that is something a lot of people do. And again, some people, if they were to swing trade, just let me give you an example. Uh, you know, if you caught this last night, that was like a 30% gain if you obviously timed it right. So, again, let me know in the comments down below what you guys personally think as to, what's going on with LUNC coin. Do you think we are going to see the LUNC coin retesting the major, if you were to ask me the major key resistance, it is around the 144,489 zone. As you can see for yourself, last time we were there was, of course, last December, so just a year back, and that is a move of about 154% from where we currently are. That could bring in some sort of excitement, but kind of tying back to what I said, if people do make profits, it's very important to lock those profits in, because I just don't personally think LUNC is going to be a long term, coin. I know this is gonna get a lot of people, like, coming at me saying, Crypto ZX, what do you mean you're LUNC this, LUNC that? And I'm just sharing my personal thoughts, unbiased updates. If you think that, that's on you, but I'm just being realistic. I don't really think it has a lot going for itself. But let me know in the comments what you guys personally think. And yeah, thank you so much for all your support. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. And if you're locking, I'm sorry, if you are making some profits, especially if you bought in around here, and you're looking at your profits and it's too much that you cannot afford to lose, then you don't need to listen to anyone. It's time to take some off the table, especially when you look at the profits and it's too much that you just cannot afford to lose. That is the biggest sign that, hey, you know what? It's time to take some off the table. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thank you so much for all the love. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.